All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, September 7th. We have a 16-game MLB slate to jump into in today's video. Like we always do, we're going to go through each and every one of these games. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any other plays, like player props that we like in the game as well. But as always, all of my final plays, if you do want to fade me or if you want to ride with me, all of my final plays are going to be in the pinned comment. And last night, we go 4-1. We'll take the cha-ching there. In fact, we'll take some crowd noise. We were 3 outs away from cashing that Tigers first 5 run line, and that would have been our 3rd day of sweeping in a row. That would be ridiculous. So no kidding, it didn't happen, right? We had to get unlucky to some degree, but I'll still take the 4-1 night. We're now on, in our last 3 days of MLB, a 9-1 run. What are we doing here, right? We shall take it. One more cha-ching, and the vibe does not stop there. We jump right into this ride of the day for plus 125. Let's abuse the soundboard some more. We got Hungry Hippopotamus. What an electric username. Going with the Oakland Athletics under 3.5 batters in the first inning. Tariq Skubal does the job, and they do just that. Plus 125 cash over on DK for the ride of the day. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, it is simple. All you have to do is use that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. Give me your favorite play of the day. I jump on board with one person's play, give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. I pick the comment that has the most likes down in the comments, so make sure you're liking everyone else's as well. And if you win, we continue to ride with your plays, so we'll jump on Hungry Hippopotamuses back again here and ride with it whatever you come with today. But if you lose, you do have to face the womp womp. We got to talk about it. So get those ride of the days in there because they help out a lot of other people as well. And looking forward to seeing what Hungry Hippo throws out today. What a great game. I used to play that when I was a kid. I see this username, I immediately think of Hungry Hippo. But let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We also swept the Friday Brazil football game yesterday, so things are off to a great start in the NFL, and we're still staying hot with the MLB. I'm telling you guys, I'm just an average sports bettor that is getting lucky right now because we have been absolutely crushing it. So hopefully we can keep that going, but you know what? It is what it is at this point. Let's jump into, we got Pittsburgh taking on Washington. This game was supposed to happen yesterday. It is the early game today. There's a couple earlier ones. This one, I still think exactly how I feel yesterday. We have Luis Ortiz on the mound going up against DJ Hers. I like the Pirates in this spot. I think Ortiz has been a lot better than Hers. He's been a little bit more consistent in the last, week or two. But to me, I don't know if the Pirates are worth minus 120-ish. So similar to what I said yesterday, I do lean Pirates. I don't necessarily know if I'm in love with it and want to roll with it. In terms of a total, neither one of these offenses scares me all that much. So I'm also going to lean towards the under. But this is a doubleheader, and you guys should know by now, me and a lot of other people, honestly, just don't like betting doubleheaders. They're kind of unpredictable. Some weird things can happen in them. But give me Pittsburgh in the under if I had to. All right, next up, we have the Cubs taking on the Yankees. This is another game in which we should see a bunch of wind, which impacted yesterday. 3-0 win for the Yankees. It ended up being Jordan Wicks that went. Now we have Javier Assad on the mound for the Cubs, going up against, I believe it's Clark Schmidt for the Yanks there. This is another spot, just like yesterday, where I do see value in the plus money for the Cubs. I don't know how much, I'm infatuated with it or if I want to end up rolling with it, especially if they showed that maybe that offense isn't still hot yesterday. They're competing against a good Yankees team. So I'm going to lean Cubs in this one. They're still batting righties really well. Like, their numbers compared to the Yankees numbers are almost paralleled, but the Cubs have been a little bit better just overall offensively, never mind like picking the specific hand in the last 30 days. So I like that spot. They're going to see a lot of cutters from Clark Schmidt. They're the second best team in the last 30 days in terms of runs above average hitting the cutter. That we love to see, right? They're going to see plenty of the curve, plenty of the sinker, both pitches that they hit well. So I think this is a good spot for the Cubs to bounce back. Again, I don't know if I raced the window to place this one because this is still a good Yankees team, and Javier Assad has not been all that terrific, one as of late, but two just on the road this season. His last 2 starts here, one, I think both of them actually on the road against Miami and Washington. 2 offenses you'd think he can get out of jail with, but pitched deep into the game, but allowed many runs and a few home runs in each. So not exactly the best spot for him. In terms of how he's been against the Yankees in the past, though, doesn't have much experience against them, but he's looked okay. An expected batting average against here, that's fairly low. Expected WOBA, that's low. Clark Schmidt, same thing. Very, very small sample size. His numbers look good as well. Now, this is a total at 7. So again, I'll lean Cubs just because it's the plus money, but I'm not totally in love with it. I'd lean towards the over in terms of total, but I think I liked that yesterday too, and those wins are legitimate. Like, when we're in Wrigley with these wins, like, it's no joke. So I'm going to lean over because that total is so low, and I think the Cubs bounce back a little bit offensively defensively, but we saw it yesterday, right? That total was what, at 7.5. A lot of people liked the over. I even leaned that way in the video, just couldn't get myself there, and I'm glad I didn't. It was a 3-0 game. Now, I do have a player prop that I'm liking in this one, courtesy of Outlier. If you guys want to check out Outlier, there's a link in the pinned comment as well as the description. You get 7 days free of this tool. It's absolutely an amazing tool. It's helping me cash in the NFL. We have called a touchdown score, multiple touchdown scores in each game so far. We had Xavier Worthy, and then we had Jaden Reed, as well as Saquon. So 3 touchdown scores through 2 games in the NFL. You gotta love it, using Outlier to help that research. But nonetheless, we're jumping into this one. Again, that link is in the pinned comment. I like Ian Happ over 0.5 bases. Now, you're paying a little bit of juice here, minus 150 across the board. I wouldn't touch it beyond that, but I do like the spot. Over his last 10 games here, averaging 2.1 bases. He's exceeded that in 9 of his last 11, averaging 2.4 bases. And what I really like is, again, Clark Schmidt's going to throw a lot of the cutter, right? This is his pitch mix right here, which is why Outlier is amazing. You can literally see the pitcher's pitch mix. I can go down here and say, okay, well, one, Ian Happ's batting 27% K rate. That's not all that great. The WOBA of 350, that's pretty good. But against the cutter, that K rate drops nearly 10 points, and the WOBA goes up to over 513. Now, the slider he struggles against, okay, but then the sinker, that next pitch from Schmidt, we're seeing the exact same sort of numbers of the cutter. So 2 of the top 3 pitches here, Ian Happ likes to hit. So I like this spot. I happen to like this spot. You get it? Ian Happ. So Ian Happ over 0.5 bases is going to be a play that we might end up rolling with. In fact, I might like that more than the money line or the total play in this game. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. He is a batter, so maybe the wind could affect him as well, obviously, but keep an eye on that pinned comment. All right, Baltimore taking on Tampa Bay. They cashed for us yesterday. There's a lot of chatter in the comments being like, Baltimore isn't the move today, blah, blah, blah. Though they didn't crush Tampa Bay, a win's a win, so we shall take it, right? I think they won, 2-0. Today, Zach Eflin is on the bump for Baltimore. He is going up against Ryan Pepe Le Pew Pepois, and I'm going to stick to my guns here. It's been profitable. Yes, it's bitten us in the ass multiple times, but I'm going to stick to my guns in riding against the Rays when they're facing a right-handed pitcher. Now, this is a guy, Zach Eflin, that obviously pitching against his old team. He does have 48 plate appearances against the current guys on this Tampa Bay roster, and the numbers look really good. 217 average against, 234 batting average against, expected batting average against, a 252 WOBA, and a 265 expected WOBA, and that's slugging down at 342. So I like his chances here. He's going to throw a lot of sinkers. Tampa Bay doesn't hit that all that well. He's going to throw a lot of cutters. Tampa Bay, second worst in the last 30 days in terms of runs above average against the cutter. Those are the 2 main pitches. That accounts for like 70+% of his pitch load or pitch mix, and I do think that that's a good spot. Now, he's really, really good against lefties. We're not going to see too many of those in the lineup. We have both lows, or Lau and Low, right, on Tampa Bay, and then Wardfed, or whatever his name is, and I think that might be it. So a lot of righties in here. That is kind of where he struggles a little bit, but I still think that pitch mix should be good enough, and he's right-handed. So this is all backing, Zach Eflin in this spot. The way that I would play this, though, because we have some serious odds at minus 180, I think minus 178 on FanDuel right now, I'd go to my trusted, tried and true first 5 run line. Minus 114 right now to pull trigger on the run line there for 0.5, minus 0.5 in the first 5 innings. Don't mind that spot whatsoever. In terms of the total, I do think that the Orioles could kind of get to Pepe Le Pew. I'm not over the moon about that, but one thing that I'm feeling pretty confident about, and it's why we started the breakdown talking about it, is Eflin against this Rays team. So I might just take a peek at maybe a Tampa Bay Rays team total under, or first 5 team total under, that type of a thing. But my favorite play in this one, I already said, it's going to be that first 5 run line on the Baltimore side of things. All right, Oakland taking on Detroit. I don't have the most amount of interest in this one. We have Brant Hunter on the mound against Brady Basso, who I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't know much about him. I've also seen Osvaldo Bito's name out there, so we'll see who pitches for this. But even still, like, the only reason I had something going in it yesterday, even though it was our only loss of the day, was because Tariq Skubal was on the mound. You know what I mean? Like, that made that game worth betting or interesting to me. So today, I don't think I'm all that in love with it. I will lean towards, I think, the Athletics. They won yesterday, even though, they didn't really get to Skubal. It was a low-scoring game until the end of the game. But I still think that they have the better offense. And now against Brant Hunter, who actually has been okay, it's not necessarily like the type of spot in which I want to be all over Detroit again. So I'll lean Oakland, as well as maybe a potential lean towards the under, because even though I like that Oakland offense to some degree here, still not the best of offenses. Both these guys are middling at best in terms of, their offensive capability. So I'll lean under as well as Oakland, but I wouldn't expect that to be on the card, just being completely honest. So just, yeah, spoiler alert, I don't think I'm making any of that a final play. Oh, but what could be a final play? You're telling me that Underdog's dropping another free square for us. Let's go. Pumping some crowd noise for that. They're giving us one like each and every day right now. So you get Dak Prescott over 0.5 yards over on Underdog. If you have not checked out Underdog yet, you are literally sleeping on this app. It is awesome. You combine 2 or more player props into a slip. The more you win, the more you get paid out. They've been dropping discounts or deals every single day this week leading up to the NFL Sunday. So super, super good time to go check it out. And if you use the link in the pinned comment, you're going to get up to $1,000 in a deposit bonus. So go deposit over there. You'll see what your bonus is. It is an awesome app. I'm going to be tossing out a bunch of Underdog slips throughout the NFL season and the MLB season as it keeps going. So make sure you are right there to ride with me or to fade me, but check out Underdog, guys. That link is in the pinned comment. Again, you can get this Dak Prescott square, and they also just have a bunch of discounted squares coming along the way. They do a lot of contingency ones, too, like do this play today, and tomorrow you'll get a free square. Like, it's a really cool idea that they do. So go ahead and check it out, guys. Again, that link is in the pinned comment. You get the free square. You also get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when depositing. So go ahead and check it out. But let's jump back into these games here. Houston taking on Arizona. I kind of chuckle when I see this one because we had the over 7.5 in this game yesterday because I loved both offenses and blah, 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 right? Well, the final score, it did hit the over, so we cashed, but Houston scored 8 runs. Arizona scored zip, so we did get kind of lucky there. I'm definitely man enough to admit that, yes, it was a win, but it wasn't exactly the right read on the game because I thought both offenses were going to contribute. At least we did still hit the over. Today, we have Yusei Kikuchi on the mound going up against Eddie Rodriguez. Kikuchi, since being an Astro, has looked pretty good, right? Last 5 starts, 1.6 ERA. He's 5-0 in his last 5 with the team. Like, the dude is pitching really, really well. In terms of Eduardo Rodriguez, kind of been, I guess, here and there since coming back, right? Last 5 starts for him, 3 flat ERA, has a couple flashes in the pans, but overall, nothing too tremendous. And him against the Astros hasn't been all that great in the past. 130 plate appearances against the current team, the current roster, right? So even against the team, he hasn't pitched well, but against the current guys on the roster, 130 plate appearances against. He has a walk rate of 10%, an average against of 322. Now, give him a little bit of credit here. The expected batting average actually is 258, so a little bit better, but a slugging of 451, a WOBA of 425, so nothing all that great. You know what I mean? Like, nothing you want to write home about. So I do think there's a strong pitching advantage here for the Astros, and their offense showed that they can go out there and do their thing. Now, there's a couple things I want to touch on here. If you are on the Arizona side of things, I don't know if I can fully get there today, just because I do believe Kikuchi has been really good since being an Astro, so I want to go down. You guys know how much I love betting Diamondbacks team total over. Don't think I can get there today. I'm more on the Astros side, but if you are looking for the Astros, Kikuchi's going to throw a ton of fastballs, a ton of sliders, and his third pitch is the changeup. This this Arizona team crushes the fastball, crushes the slider, and hits the changeup top 10 in the league as well. So his pitch mix, even though he's been pitching very, 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 very well, his pitch mix still could be a problem for him and good for the Arizona side. But again, it's not enough for me to get there. I'm going to lean towards the Astros because they have the better bullpen. They clearly have the more momentum-driven bats right now. They scored 8 runs yesterday, and their pitcher is better in a sense. I like Eduardo Rodriguez, but they do have a better pitcher in Kikuchi. So Astros for me, but I can see a little bit of a path to get to the Diamondbacks. Total sitting at 8.5. I want to run back the total, but I'm a little scared after yesterday. So I'm going to lean towards the over, but if I don't make that a final play, it's because I'm a little scarred after yesterday's absolute sweat, one team covering it for us. All right, Mets taking on Cincinnati. Mets win yesterday 6-4, 6-5, one of the two. Today on the mound for the Mets, we're looking at Jose Quintana going up against Jacob Yunis. I don't know exactly if it's Jacob or Jakob, but either way, that's who's pitching. Looks like we're going to have some serious rain, even a potential for like a postponement here. 20-mile-an-hour winds. They are blowing out, but a 75% chance of rain. So keep an eye on that if you guys are rolling with something in this game. This is a spot in which I think, just based on the pitcher and being at home, if we do have some weather and all that, I think I'm on the Mets side of things. Just again, given the fact that this is a Cincinnati team that I don't want to call them like fair weather players, but like they do, when conditions seem to be perfect against a fastball thrower, nice weather in Cincinnati, like that's when they go out there and score some runs and whatnot, right? But I don't know how they're going to do against a Mets team that is at home with some inclement weather. So for that reason, I'm out in the terms of looking at Cincinnati. I did start to look at them because you're getting plus 140 odds. Like that ain't all that half bad, but Quintana isn't a fastball thrower. He throws a decent amount of fastballs, but he's not a full fastball thrower. He throws a lot of changeups and sinkers, and there I'm kind of like, okay, well, it just doesn't fit right. The glove doesn't fit for Cincinnati. So give me the Mets on the money line here. In terms of the total, it's sitting at 8.5. If that weather is as bad as people are thinking, then I'm going to lean towards the under. But again, meteorologist Ev is a little late to work. He's got to have a coffee before he breaks down the weather in New York there. So we'll lean towards the under for now. All right, Miami taking on Philadelphia. There was people talking a big game yesterday saying that this Miami team should kill Wheeler or whatever it was. And I'm like, what are we talking about here? That final score ends up being an absolute blowout. Philadelphia put up a football score to Miami's 2 points, 16-2. So I'm glad we were on the right side of that. We took Philadelphia in the first 5 run line, I think for like minus 145. So not all that bad today. Minus 140. You have Aaron Nola on the mound going up against Darren McConaughey. Whatever his name is, that guy. I still like Philadelphia yet again. They have the better pitcher, the better bullpen, they have the better offense. Sure, I don't think it's smart to just keep going back to the same old bag of tricks when sports betting, like at some point, it's not going to work out. But this is a Philadelphia team that has won, 6 straight games in 8 of their last 10. Like, keep feeding me until the wheels kind of fall off. Again, better pitcher, better offense, and better bullpen. Sign me up. Minus 140, Philly on the first 5 run line. Total sitting at 8.5. Similar to what I've been saying. I like the Philly chances to score runs, but I would never include the Miami in there for the full game total. I'd probably either look at Miami's team total under or the Phillies team total over. That way I can kind of just focus on one of the other. We don't have a situation like Houston and Arizona last night where we're biting our nails hoping Arizona scores. They don't, but at least Houston carried all that weight. I don't want Philadelphia to have to score 9 runs today if Aaron Nola goes out there and pitches a gem. You know what I mean? All right, second leg of the doubleheader here for the Pirates and the Nationals. Looks like we'll have Mitch Keller going up against Mitchell Parker. So battle of the Mitches, which is funny here. But again, it's probably the same thing. I would lean in the first game here. Maybe a slight lean towards the Pirates and an under. But this is a second leg of a doubleheader. Though I kind of think the pitching could be more broken down here. Like if this was the game number 1, maybe we'd have more to look into because I like the pitching a little bit more. But I don't think I'm going to have anything really coming out of this game. If anything, and it's a big if, it would be in game number 1 because that's usually how I like to do it. All right, Texas is taking on the Angels. This is a tough one here. I really kind of wanted to be on the Angels today for plus 120. I like the spot. They have Tyler Anderson on the mound, who I think is better than Jack Leiter. Both offenses kind of stink, so we could have like a gritty, nice, give me one good inning from the Angels, and they might be able to win this one. But they won yesterday, and I don't love their chances of winning 2 days in a row. I'm still going to lean towards them. Again, they both these offenses are against left-handed pitchers for Texas and then against right-handed pitchers for LA in the last 30 days. Both of them are near dead last in most categories, so it is kind of going to be like a gross game if we do see the Angels win or even the Texas Rangers win. So no matter who wins, I don't think there's a ton of runs coming. Both pitchers, though, Tyler Anderson I like more than definitely Jack Leiter. Both pitchers could let up a decent amount of runs, so that's why this total I think is sitting at 8.5 still. It's kind of like, well, who's going to be worse, the pitching or the offense? In this case, I'm leaning towards the offense being worse. I'm going to lean towards the under, but I'll still lean Angels, but man, I probably would even bet the Angels today had they not won yesterday. I don't know if they pulled 2 off in a row, but I'll lean towards the under. That's probably my main lean in this spot. Milwaukee taking on Colorado. This one definitely did not go like I thought it would, and I'm sure a lot of other people yesterday. This ends up being a 3-2 win for Colorado. They've now won 2 straight. They've won 2 straight against Milwaukee, but it wasn't the same series. But they took the last game against Atlanta, still only scoring 3 runs, and then scored 3 runs yesterday and beat Milwaukee. So maybe we have a little bit of a streak on our hands. I don't necessarily think so. Those odds are crazy to at minus 285. So I don't think I'm going to be touching this one, but this is probably and most likely a bounce back spot for Milwaukee. Tobias Myers on the mound. He's been really good at home this season. Going up against Ty Block, who has been, I guess, really bad just no matter where he's pitching. So I'm going to lean towards Milwaukee, but it'd have to be some sort of a money line throw in or something like that. Some added to a parlay, I think. In terms of the total, it's at 8. Yesterday wasn't all that inspiring to see what the Brewers end up, bringing to the table, right? So I'm kind of caught in between wanting to lean towards an over / a Milwaukee team total over. But again, yesterday kind of turned me off of that. Like 2 runs yesterday. What they've been doing recently is 2, 4. They did score 9, but then 3. Like they just have not been that offense that they were, what would we say, like maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. Like they haven't really been that. So I might be like blinded by the name Brewers, thinking that they could go score against the Rockies, and then they'll put up like 2 runs again today. So I'm going to stick with my gut, this big old gut. I'm going to lean towards Milwaukee team total over, but something about that just seems a little too fishy for me today. One player prop that's kind of, I guess, correlated to that would be looking at maybe a tie block here over 5.5 hits allowed. It's plus money. That's why I'm liking it. If it's more even odds and that type of thing, I might not like it all that much. But you can see last 10 starts from him, he's hit the over in 8 of those 10. And even when he's not hitting the over, he's landing on 5 hits. The dude is allowing plenty of hits, all but 3 this entire season. You kind of look at where Milwaukee is. 13th best average here against left-handed pitchers in the league. Batting average of balls in play, 11th best. Hard hit percentage, 13th. That's still good in the last 30 days. Against the fastball, a lot of these guys, wOBAs go up. Against the change, they kind of go 50-50. The sinker, they go up, so they should be able to hit him, right? But again, has this Milwaukee team really been all that tremendous? No, these are their season stats. And then right down here, the last 30 days rank. Like, this offense has fallen off a little bit. So maybe because this is plus money, it could entice me. But overall, it's not exactly a lovely spot, right? But you can see this. He's exceeded it 5 straight games on the road. I love these little outlier insights because to find that, we would have had to filter to away games, and then we'd see, I guess, let's see, last 5 away. Yeah, 5 straight on the road. But without having to filter it, boom, it just pops it up right there. And say we had no filters going. This is what's cool about outlier. No filters going. We're just on the last 20 games, right? You can literally go in this, click this, and it's going to set those filters so you can see it nice and pretty. So shout out to Outlier for helping us find this one as well. Again, that link is in the pinned comment. 7 days free. But tie block over 5.5 hits allowed could be something that we roll with today. And it's almost a way of like backing Milwaukee without having to pay that price tag that they have right now. All right, Sox on Sox on Sox on Sox. We got the Red Sox taking on the White Sox here. Yesterday, a 3-1 win for the Red Sox. That offense just still is not cooking. Like, if the Red Sox played any team yesterday, they might not have won that game with 3-1. Well, they would have beat the Arizona Diamondbacks, that's for sure. But overall, like, you know what I mean? You're sitting here, and it's this Red Sox team. The only reason they were winning games and we're kind of on a streak and making a push for the playoffs was because of their offense. And now that seems to have fallen off. And they're going up against Garrett Crochet today, who, yes, he hasn't been pitching as deep into games and whatnot, but still a really good pitcher and a really young stud. And this is a lefty. The Red Sox, that's kind of where they've struggled this whole season. In the last 30 days here, the Red Sox against lefties, 4th worst batting average in the entire league, dead last in WRC+, dead last in on-base percentage, 2nd to last in all of OPS, ISO, and slugging. So I don't think this Red Sox team really is going to go out there and be worth minus 200 odds. So I'll sound the psycho alert alarm. I don't care if the White Sox bullpen stinks or if Crochet is probably not going to pitch that deep into the game. Give me the White Sox here, plus 175 against a struggling Red Sox team. Sure. Now, again, I don't like the fact that they're really not pushing Crochet into the game, because why hurt the guy's arm when your team stinks? But if he can go out there and pitch 4 to 5 innings maybe of really good baseball, I don't mind that spot, because as much as I'm ragging on the White Sox bullpen, like the Red Sox bullpen's just as bad. So I think a low scoring Chicago win today could be huge for money. Now, do I have the cojones to pull trigger on that myself? Probably no. We've been very good in the MLB lately. We don't have to defer from the path and start betting the White Sox, But overall, like, I just can't wrap my head around Red Sox minus 200. So White Sox up, man, and an under. I don't think either one of these offenses is all that great, but I don't think I'm going to be betting that myself. So if you're riding with that and then the White Sox get crushed, I don't want to see the comments of, well, you said the White Sox are going to win. It's like, no, I'm leaning the White Sox, and I can see the path towards it. You got to have some stones to be able to pull that play out of where. So it is what it is. If they do win, then great. We like that, but I don't know if I have the balls or the cojones. Same thing, to pull the trigger on it. I'll just be honest about it. All right, Kansas City taking on Minnesota. We had a Kansas City 5-0 win yesterday. Today on the mound for Kansas City, looks like it's going to be Marsh going up against Bailey Ober. I like a bounce-back spot and situation here for the Twins. Bailey Ober against the Twins in his career hasn't been all that tremendous, but neither has Alec Marsh. So I'm hoping that those two kind of cancel out here, and the Twins kind of get back in bounce-back fashion. Now, this is a Kansas City team that's been extremely good at home this season. We've said that multiple times. I can see a path getting to them as well. Like, a big reason is that Alec Marsh throws a bunch of fastballs, a bunch of sliders, a bunch of changeups, and then he goes to the sinker. Pretty much Minnesota struggles against all of those pitches. The only pitch that they hit really well is the cutter, which is not in his bag of tools. So keep that in mind if you are on the Kansas City side of things. I get it, but overall, like I mentioned, I just think that this is a bounce-back spot for the Twins because they do have the better starter, the better pen, and obviously the odds agree to it, minus 130. So that's the direction I'm leaning in, but I totally get it. Don't let me talk you off of the Royals today, because, again, they're at home. They just won 5-0, and you're getting a good price for a very good Royals team at home, In terms of the total, I think one of these pitchers has a really good game, so I'm going to lean under. We've leaned a lot of unders today, but I don't know exactly which pitcher. I'd hope it's Bailey Ober, because that's the side we're leaning towards money line-wise, but To be honest, it could be Alec Marsh. Like I said, his pitch mix kind of makes perfect sense to ride with him today. So I like the under because I think one of these pitchers has a good day against an offense that struggles, and one has a decent day, but not enough to, do what the Astros did yesterday and score all the runs themselves. All right, guys, before we move on to the next game, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 25. You made it 25 minutes in. I'll be quick with the sappy stuff, but yesterday we hit 85,000 subscribers. I can't even imagine. That sounds fake coming out of my mouth, but you know what? We work hard here. All the guys on the channel, me, Tassos, and Trey, and I'm glad to see that hard work's paying off. And hopefully, you guys do enjoy the content because I think we do it a little different around here. We have fun doing it. I'll admit when we're bad, unlike a lot of other people out there. And I just appreciate all the love and support that we have. Obviously, we'll have the guppies and the haters that come along as we get bigger and bigger and bigger, but that just kind of comes with the territory. It's like a 9-to-1 ratio of people that are actually supporting and actually messing with what we're doing here. So I do say thank you. If you made it this far into the video, that's why I wanted to kind of go on that spiel now, because if you made it this far, odds are you're rocking with us and you are, a true part of this community because you made it 25 minutes into the video. So I wanted you to hear this instead of just saying that at the beginning of the video for any schmo to come in and listen to. So I do thank you guys. You've changed my life and this channel's trajectory. Appreciate the hell out of it. I really do. And I'll never take it for granted. You got that promise from me. All right, we got St. Louis taking on Seattle. These two teams, when they play each other, it's so hard for me to keep track of which team I'm saying because I'm dumb, and St. Louis and Seattle just sound too much alike to me. But Seattle gets the win yesterday, 6-1. Now they have Logan Gilbert on the mound going up against Kyle Gibson. I don't see a path really to the Cardinals. I think you're getting a good price for Seattle at -120, so that's the direction I'm going to lean in. Again, this really comes down to the starting pitching. You have Logan Gilbert, who's been phenomenal, whether he's on the road or at home, going up against Kyle Gibson, who his numbers skyrocket at home, funnily enough. The one concern here, and it's always the concern when batting Seattle, is the offense. Is this offense going to do anything? Are they good enough? Blah, blah, blah. We shall see. But I do think that they have a strong pitching advantage here in this one. So if they can suppress this Cardinals team and keep doing what they're doing, last 3 games are 16, 6, and 6 runs scored. They are scoring runs. I don't know if I fully believe in that long term, but one more game, go out there and score, 4 to 5 runs. I think that'll be enough to win this one. In terms of the total, I'd look at the first 5 under before going to anything. Now, you're not going to get the best of odds there, so it's probably a don't touch anyways. But to me, this 7 is just a little bit too low to be confident in pulling the trigger in terms of, full game. I get why it's there. Again, Logan Gilbert and the bad offense against Gibson, but to me, you can get under 4.5 right now for -150 on ESPN. That might be it. You'd have to get 5 out of the total 7 runs in the first 5 innings to hit the over, so I don't mind that under, but again, it's going to really come down to, one, we kind of want Seattle's offense to come back down to earth, and then we want Logan Gilbert to stay cooking, so those are the 2 factors that would help that under. All right, we have Atlanta taking on Jose Barrios and the Blue Jays. Spencer Schwellenbach on the mound for Atlanta. He's been pitching really well at home, 1.01 whip on the season at home, an expected FIP of 2.86, which is obviously really, really good. Going up against Jose Barrios, who has struggled on the road. The one thing I will say, last 30 days here, this Toronto lineup has been hitting righties fairly well. Now, they don't necessarily have the runs to show for that, and I think that 15 to whatever game, nothing game against the Twins probably skews their data a little bit, but they are hitting righties fairly well. This Atlanta team, I don't necessarily think their offense is cooking, but they've been winning some games with a 3-run game, a 4-run game. So this is definitely one where there's multiple paths to get to a winner. I think here, given Schwellenbach at home and Jose Barrios on the road, I'm going to lean towards the Braves, but man, I almost did my damn best to try and get to the Blue Jays at +150 on the road. I just couldn't fully get there. So yeah, if you are on that side, hell, I tried to get there myself and just really couldn't. So I don't think it's that bad of a spot. I just, like I said, couldn't fully get there, and too much of this Braves spot makes sense. You know what I mean? They're finding ways to win games like yesterday, right? They win 3-1. They scored 3 in the second inning and then just hung on. There's no runs after the 3rd inning in the entire game. So I think something similar to that, again today. I'm going to lean towards an under, but it might be a Blue Jays team total under because they've been so good against righties, but they haven't been scoring as many runs. I think we might get some good odds for that. So keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if we can kind of throw something in there and find it. I could try and look it up actually really quickly so we don't have to come back to it. Let's see. All right, we're using Outlier. Let's see if we can do this real time. This is what I love about Outlier, right? If we find the game, we can go to match details, go to team props, go to Blue Jays runs, and boom, here we are. So I was hoping for an under 4.5, but that total's down. I don't know about under 3.5, but the odds at -113 aren't all that bad. -120-ish across the board. Yeah, I mean, they've definitely cashed this recently, right? 7 of their last 10 head-to-head against the Braves, 2 of their last 4 here on the season. They've gone under in half of it, but what about on the road? On the road, 51. On the road against righties, 45. So there's enough there that maybe makes us pass on this, but I don't mind a Blue Jays team total under. I'm kind of backing Schwellenbach, and honestly, the bullpen of the Braves, which isn't always the best thing to do, but they've been pretty damn good. San Diego taking on San Francisco. You can't give me too many Sans here. This is tough. This is tough to keep my mind on. We have Dylan Cease on the mound going up against, who's pitching for, I think it's Logan Webb. So both teams number ones going here. You have a San Diego offense that's much better than the San Francisco offense. And, you know, Dylan Cease is going to throw a ton of sliders. San Francisco struggles against the slider. But Dylan Cease hasn't been like tremendous as of late. Like, he's definitely gotten the job done, but he's been a little erratic or inconsistent last couple starts here. I know he has a no-hitter on the season, so this season he's gonna be, you know, he's already has a win in terms of a season, right? But overall, like, I do struggle a little bit with him, but at the same time, Logan Webb is in the exact same boat. So if both pitchers are kind of, you know, stepping on coals, like, we're still good, but we're not pitching all into our best, I'm going to lean towards the better offense in San Diego, right? And they won yesterday, 5-2, 5-1, something like that. So it's like they do have, they've shown even in this series that they can go out there and score some runs. I'm banking on them to score some runs today. Backing Dylan Cease, but more so backing that Padres offense. So in terms of a total, I'd also look at the San Diego team total over. We have right now a total sitting at 7. I think it's because we have 2 really good pitchers on the mound, obviously, because I don't think that there's any, you know, big wind or rain at all. So I think it's because of the pitchers. I'm going to lean towards the San Diego team total over. Go out there and get us, you know, 4 runs. I think you win this game, and 2, cash your team total over for some decent odds. Let's check that out here as well. We'll jump back into Outlier. You can see me do it in real time. So odds for their team total over. San Diego runs here over 3.5 -118. They've done it in 6 of their last 10, averaging 4.9. When they're at home, they've done it in 5 of the last 10. That's not all that great, but 58% of games at home this season. Against a righty at home, 61% of their games. So we're just filtering around here, and looks pretty damn good. So yeah, maybe we look at their team total over. We can add it to our picks. And if we did like that, what's cool about this is you could pick any of these sports books. I can click Caesars, scan it on my phone, or continue in browser, and it's going to throw it right into my bet slip. If I was logged in, I could place this literally with one click. I'm not logged in right now, but it throws it in there. You don't have to go digging for it. Another benefit of Outlier and why I love them as a partner of the channel. Again, that link is in the pinned comment. I know I've shouted them out like 3 times this video, but they are damn worth it. If you ever try Outlier, again, 7 days free, you try it, you're going to fall in love with it. But give me San Diego and the team total over in this one. All right, we got the Dodgers taking on Cleveland. I don't know if we have a confirmed starter for the Dodgers. Justin Robelski has been a name that I've seen thrown around. I've also seen Stone, but I don't think that's the case. So if you are betting this, keep an eye on who is starting, if it's Robelski or Stone. I don't really love this spot overall. Gavin Williams on the mound for Cleveland. Not that I love him. He's kind of shoved against us a couple times recently. He's been pitching well. 1 run earned in his last 2 games. Went up against the Cubs as a good offense, right? And Pittsburgh, who isn't the best offense, but still 0 earned runs through 6 innings there. Actually, that looks like it might be Alex Cobb on the mound now too. So who knows who's pitching in this game? Either way, I was gonna say that I don't love the pitching on the Dodgers side of things, but you're getting a Dodgers offense and in a bounce back spot for -150-ish. That might be the move. But I don't love the Dodgers. I don't love Cleveland, even if it's Gavin Williams or Alex Cobb. Neither one of which I'm all that thrilled to bet against as of right now. Even Alex Cobb, I think his last start was against the Pirates actually. So yeah, to me, this is a Dodgers bet on their offense. -150, I'll take it. In terms of a total, probably another type of spot in which I say team total over instead of full game over, because one, we don't know who's pitching, so let's isolate as many variables as we can. Let's just look at the Dodgers offense and go team total over there, but nonetheless, you can kind of tell, right, that like this isn't our favorite matchup on the board, especially because we have a lot of question marks here. Like no matter what site you look at, you're seeing Alex Cobb, you're seeing Gavin Williams. I think it's Gavin Williams, but we don't know that for sure, and we don't even know who's pitching for the Dodgers. But overall, I'd go Dodgers and team total over, because I don't think you're getting gypped on odds there. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for today's show. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. I gave you my sappy little rant in the middle of the video there, and I do appreciate the hell out of you guys, and I will continue to grind my ass off to keep this channel going in the right direction. We had a 5-0 sweep in our Friday game yesterday for the NFL, right? So it's like we're on cloud 9 right now picks wise, but what I really love is the production of these videos and the community we're building, even more than the picks, right? Win or lose, like I want to keep getting better and make better content. So appreciate that love is being reciprocated. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.